Hey, what's up, cats and kittens, and shout out to all my cerebralites. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I'm back with another episode of In the Loop. And in today's episode of In the Loop, we're going to talk about the ubiquitous Covfefe, I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. I don't know if it's a verb. I don't know if it's a noun. I don't know what it is. But apparently it's all over, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we dive into Covfefe, do yourself a favor and do me a solid. Take a second and hit that subscribe button. And once you've done that, take another second and hit that tiny little bell so that you can turn on your alerts, and that way you will be kept in the loop. So we're going to talk about two things about Donald Trump today. We're going to talk about this whole Kathy Griffin picture that it seemed to have traumatized Barron. And we're going to talk about Covfefe. Now, Covfefe, we're going to start there. To me, this is Donald Trump's Pee Wee Herman moment. And it's not that Donald Trump hasn't had sort of this continuum of Pee Wee Herman moments, but this is sort of the apex of his Pee Wee Herman moments. Now, if you're a child of the late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there, then more than likely you remember Pee Wee Herman. And one of Pee Wee Herman's taglines was, "I meant to do that." And so when it comes to Covfefe, one would think this is one of the most benign things or benign mistakes that Donald Trump has made, where it's easy for him to say, "Hey guys, sorry, jet lag from a trip abroad, doing presidential things, sorry about the typo, LOL," in some way that makes him human and relatable. But what do? As they always do, they double down. And suddenly Covfefe is an actual thing, according to Sean Spicer, that's understood by a few people in President Trump's circle. And by that, he probably means the schizophrenic voices that Trump is hearing in his head. I mean, how much effort does it take to say, "I made a mistake"? Is it impossible for this man to just simply say that? It's amazing to me that Donald Trump is always seeking apologies, but is ruled by hubris. He cannot humble himself to say, "I made a mistake," which is very understandable. There's a lot on his plate. He's traveling here and there. He's destroying, people's lives everywhere. So, I'm sure that's very taxing on him. And it probably, it haunts him and makes it hard for him to sleep at night. So I could see why he would mistake coverage for Covfefe. But rather than just admit to it, they double down, and suddenly now it's a thing. And to take it a step further, one of the things that Donald Trump has done this week that has really annoyed me is this whole Kathy Griffin thing, where he's in the press now talking about how Barron is so traumatized by the imagery. And let me say this. I get it. I get why people would be offended. If this were Obama and someone had done something like this, I would definitely be offended. So I'm going to concede to that. But it was Obama. It has been Obama. Trump, to a large degree, has perpetrated this sort of vitriol towards Obama. I remember towards the end of Obama's presidency, there was a state legislator of some sort out of Pennsylvania, I believe, who put a picture or meme up of one monkey holding a wheelbarrow, and then there were about 3 or 4 other monkeys inside of the wheelbarrow, and he captioned it "Moving Day at the White House," essentially calling the Obamas monkeys, comparing them to simians. And I was completely offended. Now, the thing that makes Obama different from Trump is that Obama was a man of class. Obama was not antagonistic. Trump likes to poke the sleeping bear. And then when the bear wakes up, suddenly he becomes the victim. He's always saying Hollywood people are overrated. Oh, they're dumb. Oh, they're stupid. Oh, you know what I mean? Their careers are over. They're has-beens. He's constantly berating people. But when it's his turn, and granted, what Kathy did was egregious. It was over the top. I get that. She definitely took it to the extreme. But his brand is hyperbole. Why can't her brand be hyperbole? I don't understand. And not only that, Kathy Griffin is a comedian. That is her job. Her job is, and to me, to some degree, it wasn't just about being funny. It was performance art, and granted, it was vulgar to some degree, but that's essentially what it was, in my opinion. But time after time after time, Trump seems connected to his own pain, his own angst, his own strife, but not to that of others. So he's talking about how Barron is so traumatized. Imagine the parents of all of these kids out there who don't have adequate health care. That's true trauma. Imagine all of these, imagine the two families in Oregon of these men who were slain because they were coming to the defense of two minority women. Imagine their families. That's traumatizing. What Kathy Griffin did, it was hyperbole. Kathy Griffin is not coming to the White House to decapitate Trump. We all know that. But parents in the emergency room, parents who are losing their homes because of being bogged down with medical bills, parents who have to forego treatment for their children. These things are happening in the real world. Hate crimes are happening in the real world. Hate crimes that to a large degree were propagated by a lot of the vitriol that was a part of Trump's campaign. But every time there's an opportunity for him to speak out against something other than what affects him, he either does not or he drags his feet. But when it comes to this whole Kathy Griffin picture, suddenly he's so connected to it. He's so affected by it. He's so traumatized by it. What about all the pussies that you've grabbed? You don't think those women are traumatized by that? But I'm going to get off this soapbox, you guys, because I can go on about Trump for for hours. I, by no stretch of the imagination, am a Trump fan. After he won the election, even though I was begrudgingly accepting of it, I wanted to give him an opportunity. People kept saying he's going to change. Give him a chance. Just wait. Just see. He's going to. You'll see. He's not who he is on the campaign. They were right. He's actually worse. He's actually worse than he was on the campaign. So we've given him a chance. People keep saying, he's going to appear to be more presidential. That hasn't happened. Everything that he's done so far has, to me, and this has nothing to do with partisanship, has just spoken to his ineptitude, that to his lack of preparedness. He is just not ready to be president. I don't agree with a lot of things that John McCain has to say. I didn't agree with a lot of things that George Bush had to say. But damn, do I miss George Bush now. Every day I wake up and I read the news, all I can do is shake my head. Because it's pretty much guaranteed that there's going to be something dumb that Donald Trump has done. But we are supposed to ignore it, act as if it's not happening, and focus on the good stuff. And I have yet to see the good stuff. I don't know what good stuff is happening, but people keep saying all the news does is report the bad things. They don't really give credit to him for the good things that he's done. I'm waiting for a good thing. All right, you guys. So having said that, please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you feel so inclined. Remember to follow me across all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And as always, in closing, remember to live better, love harder, and think smarter. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a fantastic day.